Hey everyone, and welcome to my third Waypoint Books full moon subscription reading vlog. If you don't know what Waypoint Books full moon subscription box is, I'll leave a link up above to my original video where I do the full explanation, but essentially Waypoint Books full moon subscription box is a monthly subscription that ships internationally and it is based entirely around your taste. So Hannah from Ladder M, who owns Waypoint Books, will analyse your Goodreads, your Storygraph, whatever it is, and also a questionnaire that she sends you when you sign up, and then it sends you 2 books a month that you will absolutely adore. The first one will be a book that you choose out of a list of 3 that she will send you, and then the second one will be a complete and utter surprise. But every single time it will be something that you will be really interested in and you will absolutely love it, I assure you. And if that isn't enough to convince you to sign up for Waypoint yourself, I also have a discount code that gets you 30% off your first box, and it is BeccaFM23. Just enter this at checkout and you will get 30% off. Now to actually talk about what this vlog is actually going to be about. This is going to be me reading my August book box picks that I got. The first one is Dead Lucky. This is a graphic novel all about a woman who has control over electricity, and she's now in San Francisco trying to save it from a tech consortium. This was my surprise book for August. I'm really excited to read this one. It looks like this on the inside and it just sounds really good. I've never actually heard of this before, but I fully trust Hannah in her decision on this because I've loved everything else she has ever sent me. And then the book Hannah got me was Victory is Greater Than Death by Charlie Jane Anders, and this one is all about Tina, who is a clone of a famed alien hero, and she knows that one day her beacon is going to activate and then she'll be able to save the universe for herself. But it turns out destiny is not quite what she expected and things are far more dangerous than she ever imagined. So I'm really excited to read both of these. I'm going to start with Dead Lucky just because it's a graphic novel and I don't have that much time today, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to speed through this quite quickly, and I've always started with the graphic novel first. By the way, if you do not like graphic novels, Hannah will not specifically send you graphic novels. It's just the fact that Hannah knows that I am a massive graphic novel fan. That's why she sends me one, or has sent me one for the last 3 boxes. Generally, if you just like books, she'll send you books. If you like poetry, she'll send you poetry, all of this kind of thing. I just have a graphic novel in here as well because I'm a massive graphic novel fan. So I'm so far 2 issues in and I am quite enjoying myself with this one. I will say that I've just found out this is part of a bigger universe called the Massive Verse. So I think you're probably supposed to have read a few of those first just so you've got a better idea of the universe and things, but I am keeping up reasonably well at the moment. We are following our main character of Bibi, who is a veteran of Afghanistan. She's come back again. Her entire platoon was killed in front of her by the sounds of it, and she came back with a ton of PTSD, survivor's guilt, and then also weird electricity powers. She's also come back to San Francisco where she grew up to find that it's really changed now. There is a tech company called Morrow who are running everything now, and they are sort of controlling the place and trying to sort of like price some people out and things like this. It's supposed to be like an experiment to see how like corporate run places can work and see if they can like rejuvenate the place and this kind of thing, and unfortunately there's a lot of like corruption around it and also a lot of groups who are causing trouble and things like this. So Bibi takes it upon herself to like stop this using her powers. She's got a friend Eddie who is a bit of a tech genius, and he has built her this big suit that she can like use to try and fight these people and trying to stop these crimes from happening and these terrorist acts from like happening and things like this, and trying to figure out what Morrow is doing, this kind of thing. So this so far is really interesting. Like I said, I do think it would have helped if I'd read a bit more of like the Massive Verse first, but overall I am reasonably keeping up reasonably well at the moment, and it's a pretty good start. I am currently this far in, so I've got this much left to go, and I'm going to carry on reading it, and I think the enjoyment's just going to grow throughout the rest of this volume. So overall, first 2 issues, pretty good start. Just need a little bit of time to like catch up and get used to the world, this kind of thing. And like I said, probably should have read some of the Massive Verse, but some of it is listed here in the back of it, and some of this is currently on sale. Like Rogue Sun and Radiant Red, I know specifically are currently on sale, so I'm thinking If I do enjoy this a lot, I may check out those others at the moment as well while they're on sale. I'll see, but pretty good start so far. I'm going to carry on reading now and see what I think and see if I want to continue on and see if I want anything else in this universe as well. I'm now up to issue 5 and I'm definitely enjoying this more like I thought I would. Like, as I read more and more, I'm really liking finding out more about Bibi and what happened to her. Like, in Afghanistan, what exactly is going on with, like, her powers. She says she's sort of like a Tesla coil, was that it? She essentially attracts electricity, and what's happened is that the electricity from the life force of her friends from Afghanistan who all died are all sort of still attracted to her, so she's kind of carrying them around with her and they help her fight, which I think is really cool, and that's why they call their platoon the Dead Lucky, hence the name of the comic itself. That's a really cool concept. I love the idea of someone carrying around like these people who then help her fight crime and like fight back against this system that's overly oppressive and trying to like just control everybody, because Morrow is definitely trying to just control this entire place. They are arresting people without due cause and things like this, just because they think that these people are like a threat essentially, and they're like putting in martial law. They're saying that they're trying to do everything that's for the best of San Francisco, but it's not really working that way. They're mostly just working on how to make the most money out of things and like have absolute control over San Francisco. I'm really loving seeing everybody fighting back on this one and finding out more about like all of these different characters, how their lives intersect, how they're dealing with like these powers and things. And then also the artwork is really cool in here as well. I'm really loving like all of the artwork. I especially love like these bits. They look really cool, and I'm just generally really enjoying this. I definitely think I'm going to carry on checking out the Massive verse after this because it just sounds really interesting. I did briefly look it up a couple of weeks ago, but just kind of completely forgotten about it since, so I need to re-look it up and re-research it. But this is definitely another one that Hannah is nailing. I don't know how she does this, but every single time she is nailing it on figuring out my tastes, to say the least. We have got vengeful women, we've got superpowers. I mean, what more can I want? Vengeful women with superpowers. I mean, I'm always here for that concept, and this is definitely nailing it on that concept, to say the least. And with that, I've now just finished Dead Lucky. This was a really good comic, actually. I really enjoyed like the world of it. I really loved the message of it as well. I really enjoyed as well like finding out more about Bibi, what happened to her, her connections to the world, and like how she's dealing with being back from Afghanistan. I really enjoyed like the conversations it also had about like conglomerates trying to like take over the world and this kind of thing. It was really good fun. I really loved all of the artwork in here as well. I keep on showing it to you, but this is more of it because it is just gorgeous. I'm loving the artwork in here. I will say that there were a few moments where I was a little bit confused as to like who was talking or who was fighting who in like a fight and things, but apart from that, I had a really good time with this. I will say that it would probably help to have read maybe a couple of like bits from the Massive verse, but I've just read this without any sort of knowledge of it whatsoever, and I was initially confused but managed to work my way through and sort of like sort of caught up quite quickly throughout the rest of it. I don't know how interconnected the Massive verse is, but I had a really good time with this, and I will definitely be continuing on with this series because this was a really good first volume. I am intrigued enough to continue on with it, and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. So yet again, Hannah has found a comic that I have never heard of before, which is rare to say the least, apart from when Hannah's sending me comics. I don't know how she does this, but she does. But yet again, she found a comic I've never heard of before, and then absolutely loved. The woman's a genius. I'm telling you, the woman's an absolute genius and a mind reader. I don't know how she does this, but she continues to absolutely smash it every single time. Like I said, it was a 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one, and now I'm really excited to go on to Victory is Greater Than Death and see what I think about this one. If it's anything like any of the other books Hannah sent me, this is going to be a fantastic time, so I cannot wait to get started with it. I've now just started Victory is Greater Than Death. I'm currently 2 chapters chapters in, and this is a solid start because it's thrown us right in at the deep end, essentially, where we're following Tina, and she really wants her beacon that's inside of her chest to activate so she can go off to the aliens who actually like created her, essentially. And at the same time, though, she's having like nightmares and things about the people who will be trying to kill her once she's activated, and also dealing like with her mum as well, who is like really struggling with having her daughter like eventually leave and things like this to go off to war, but they don't know when it's going to be, this kind of thing. I'm really liking all of this. I really like that we also established Tina's relationship with her mum immediately within the first 2 chapters, as well as her relationship with her best friend. It gave a really good like quick look into Tina's life originally, just in 20 short pages as well, which I really appreciate. I love it when a author can do that quickly without having to do like massive amounts of like info dump or anything else. It really set the scene up really well, and I am already very intrigued so far, because obviously from reading the back I know that she's like a clone of like another person who's like a great big alien war hero, this kind of thing. But apart from that, I'm like, I wonder why everyone wants this clone dead, or the original woman dead, why she died, what's the war all about, why like they need Tina herself as well, because she like, apart from the fact that she's a clone of this war hero, why they decided to put her on Earth, all of this kind of thing. Very intrigued so far, and definitely a really good start. So the aliens have just turned up and there's been a bit of a chase scene, and to keep her friend calm, Tina is asking Rachel what her favourite comics are, and she says, if I can flick back to it, there we go, she says Kim and Kim, Squirrel Girl or Miss Marvel, Mooncakes or Lumberjacks. And I've only read Miss Marvel there, but I love the fact that they mentioned Miss Marvel and also Squirrel Girl in here. I really like that because I'm a massive Marvel nerd, and it's just like, oh, Marvel comic mention. Love it when that happens. I'm currently 104 pages in, which is about 14, it's exactly 14 chapters in, and this does include one of my pet hates in books, which is where the characters just accept what's going on, essentially. Like, I know our main character Tina has been raised her entire life to, or at least since the age of 13 anyway, that she is like this clone, and she's like a clone of like this big military general of like an alien army kind of thing. But her best friend has also just accepted this. We don't get any sort of explanation as to how that conversation went anyway, like between Tina's mother and herself breaking that news, because she wasn't raised to know this. She found out at 13. We also don't know how she raised this with her best friend, and things like this. And everyone's just sort of accepting everything. They've just brought a couple more kids onto the ship to like help out, because they currently only got a skeleton crew, and everyone's just accepting A, that aliens are real, B, there's a battle going on, and C, that they can be a part of it. And I know that they put like a warning out when they put out this like call for people to come and help. They put out a call saying like, this could be really dangerous, you could die, this kind of thing. But it's still like, excuse me, I would like a little bit more argument, because I don't like it when a character just accepts things, and every character so far has just accepted everything that's handed to them. And personally, I prefer it when like characters argue a little bit, or sort of just try to get their head around what's going on, this kind of thing. And that hasn't really happened in here, and that just is very much a pet hate of mine. I hate it when characters just accept what's going on without a single bit of argument, questioning or whatever. That's definitely happening in here. I'd also say as well that the social anxiety representation is not that good in here either, because Tina's best friend Rachel is with her, and she's supposed to be very socially anxious, and like she needs like time to herself and all the rest of it, and she just manages to just ask this brand new alien person, look, I need some space to myself, because this is all getting a bit too much. And she just does it straight off, like within minutes of like meeting this guy, or like within a couple of hours I should say. And I'm a little bit like, I don't feel like that's properly like proper representation of social anxiety. I can't speak for it because I don't have like social anxiety, and I don't know anybody with social anxiety, but judging on my own like issues with like talking to people, especially new people, and like asking for things and things like this, just that's not how this works in my mind at the very least. So I was a little bit sort of like, that's not the best. And I will say as well, some of the dialogue in here is a little bit clunky at points. I'm still interested in the storyline, but I will say that those things are annoying me, and there are definite clunky sentences that I feel like could have been rewritten maybe a couple more times just to sort of make them flow that little bit better. But I'm going to carry on because I'm like, I'm not quite a third of the way through, I don't think. I'm like just under a third of the way through, I think. Yeah, because this, yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way through. Okay, I'm like a quarter of the way through. So I'm going to carry on, see what I think a little bit further. But yeah, there's just a few things that are kind of annoying me. But I mean, Russell T Davies really enjoyed this. And I mean, I trust Russell T Davies. Obviously I trust Russell T Davies. So I'll carry on, see what I think. But definitely a few things that are slightly sort of grating on me a little bit in this one, unfortunately. But that could just be me. I'm now up to chapter 26, which is 187 pages into this, and this is now definitely growing on me, I would say, because like I'm starting to get used to like the writing style, I'm getting used to like the storyline, I'm starting to get more into it, this kind of thing. So it's definitely now growing on me. And what I also really appreciate about this is that every single character introduces themselves with their pronouns as well. So they say their name, and then my pronoun is he, she, they. Anything else that is included in here, which I really appreciate. I really like that that's like a normalizing that conversation, and like just saying your pronouns when you first meet someone, that kind of thing. I really enjoy that. I also think it's really cool that we have a trans character in here as well, in Elsa, and I also appreciate that Tina is shown to be having a crush on a woman as well as a man as well. We don't know her precise sexuality, but I like the fact that it is definitely queer in some way. I really enjoy that, and I just generally like the diversity of this one. I am enjoying that. I'm starting to enjoy the story more and the mystery of it. We've just gotten to the point where the original like captain who Tina is cloned from is saying that she never wants to be cloned, that kind of thing, and is asking if they've made a mistake. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe something is going on here. I'm really liking all of this as well, and like I said, it's just growing on me a lot more now. I was a little bit sort of iffy at the beginning, but the more I read, the more I'm enjoying it. So I'm now up to chapter 40, and Tina's just mentioned Chekhov's gun, and she mentions the fact that in English class she was taught about Chekhov's gun, and Chekhov's gun is the rule that if you mention a gun in a story, it has to be fired. It's that kind of thing, and I really like that. I really appreciate that. It's one of those things that's making me sort of like really grow to like this book in a lot of ways. I mean, it's still very much growing on me. I still have a few problems with it. I still think it needed maybe another like round or two of edits just to really tighten it up and make it like more like traditional sci-fi, I guess you could say. This very much feels like the author's first attempt at sci-fi, but overall I am reasonably enjoying myself. It's not like the best sci-fi I've ever read, but I'm still reasonably enjoying it, and that Chekhov's gun bit did kind of help as well, because I really enjoyed like reading about Chekhov's gun and like the rule of Chekhov's gun. Don't know why. I just really like it. And with that, I have now just finished Victories Greater Than Death, and I think I'm going to have to take a while to think about this one, because there was a lot of things I liked about it. I liked the plot, and I liked the like characters. I did also like the general concept of it, but I feel like this needed maybe one or two more rounds of editing just to like tighten it up in places, and maybe expand on a few things in like a few other places, just to sort of like flesh out the characters and the world that little bit more, and like the villain and things like this, because it feels like this just needed that. It just needed that little bit more editing and a little bit more like writing or rewriting in a few places just to like really perfect it, because the story and the characters are all there. I think it just needed that little bit extra bit of time to like cook, I'd say. I should say now as well that this is the one that I picked out of the list of 3 that Hannah sent me, so this is actually on me for not liking this one as much as the other ones. It wasn't Hannah, it was me entirely, but I still did quite enjoy myself. It just took me a long time to like get into it, and like I said, I think it just needed another round of edits or two. But I will say as well that I did like how it normalised the pronouns conversation of introducing yourself with your name and your pronouns. I did enjoy that. I did also enjoy how many like like LGBTQI plus characters were in here, that kind of thing. But like I said, it just needed that extra round of edits. So in the end, I think I'm going to give it a 3 to 3.5 stars because it was genuinely enjoyable. It was just needing that extra bit. Like I said, it just needed that extra bit of time to cook, and it would have been absolutely brilliant, I'm sure. And now I think that's where I'm going to leave this video because I've read both of the books now. I really enjoyed both of the books. My favourite out of the two was The Dead Lucky. It just sort of appealed to me that little bit more, and I got into it a little bit quicker, but I enjoyed both of them. This was my surprise book, so Hannah once again knows me better than I know me and my taste, so that's really great, and I'm sure Hannah will do the same for you. So if you want to check out Waypoint books, please do use the code BeccaFM23 at checkout because that will get you 30% off your first box. This box is also a internationally shipping box as well, so if you are in another country outside of England, don't worry, Hannah will most likely ship to you as well. And I think that's all I've got to say. This is the end of all of my rep boxes, but I have just signed up as well to carry on receiving these boxes because I love them so much. And I mean, you cannot go wrong with a book box that is tailored personally to you and your tastes. And also, when Hannah is so good at picking out these books, I mean, she's picked out 6 books for me and I've enjoyed all of them. All of them, apart from Victories Greater Than Death, have been 4 stars. This one was 3 to 3.5 stars, so I still really enjoyed it. There's been nothing I've absolutely hated or anything else. Hannah has nailed it every single time, and I'm sure she will do that for all of you as well. So you should definitely go and check out Waypoint Books full moon and half moon subscription boxes. And I think that's now where I'm going to leave this because I don't really have anything else to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a book that you've really enjoyed recently. I love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a spaceship emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, and also Hannah's social media if you want to check her out as well. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. Until next time everyone, bye!